Matthew Knies is a game changer for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Fraser Minten has a bright future, and Connor Timmins goes down with an injury. We'll get into all that later in this video, but first we just want to say that 83.2% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you're looking for a home to daily NHL and daily Leafs content, look no further, go down below, hit that subscribe button, become a part of the Hattrick HQ community. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, which is Timmins goes down. And we've seen a report here come out from Daily Faceoff, and Sheldon Keefe commented in practice yesterday saying he's going to miss some time. He's going to be out for a bit. And Mark, this is not what you want to hear as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. Connor Timmins, I believe, is the point leader in the preseason for Toronto right now, and he was looking great to maybe crack this defensive lineup for the Leafs going into the season, and now going down with an injury. You just don't want to see that.
Yeah, we seen the hit where Tanner Pearson hit him on the boards, and he did feel discomfort. He left this game. He didn't practice yesterday, and the MRI is going to really determine what this injury looks like. But it's so bad. You've seen just in 3 games, he had 6 points, he had 2 goals, he had the 4 assists. He was looking outstanding. Klingberg's down with an injury, and with Timmins, I thought this was the perfect opportunity for him to slide in, make his case on this team. He could have filled the void a little bit for Klingberg, just to let him heal a bit. But seeing him go down is real tough. I mean, he looked incredible in preseason. He looked like he was just poised to have this great year the Leafs wanted, the year he wanted. And just not having him in the lineup, especially with Klingberg down, it's such a loss for the Leafs.
Yeah, definitely. I know we talked about this a couple days ago, how hyped we were on Connor Timmins, and now that Klingberg's out, he would get that opportunity to show his skill and show his talent. But now, unfortunately, he goes down too. It sucks to see because these are just two great defensemen in Klingberg and Timmins who would have had a great year for Toronto here, and now they're both down. We haven't seen any updates on Klingberg so far about how long he's going to be out, and now Timmins is out for an unexpected amount of time. That's two defensemen that you don't want to see it go down, but they do have Simone Benoit back there too that they could throw out there in replace of Timmins and Klingberg.
Yeah, that's the big thing. We do have a couple guys that can fill this void. It does get a little tough with the cap where you have two of these guys. You're not sure where they're going, if they're going to be gone for 7 days or more, then you would put them on your IR. But it just gives you the awkward situation of having to play Benoit. We haven't really seen him in the Leafs uniform. He had a couple of practices here and there, but he was dealing with injuries during this preseason as well. So I don't think there's much to worry about. We still have all our top guys. I don't think this is going to be a long-term injury for a guy like Timmins or Klingberg. But just seeing such a strong start to the preseason, it's just so hard to see a guy like this missing his opportunity now due to an injury.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. We really hope the best to both Timmins and Klingberg on their recovery. Hopefully they get back soon, and hopefully we get to see them in a Leafs uniform for the start of the season. But we're going to get into our next topic here, which is Fraser Minten has a bright future. And this is a tweet from Kyle Cushman saying, in Fraser Minten's 7 games with the Leafs, he has 2 goals and 9 points. He also goes on to say here, Minten hasn't been as flashy as the previous 2 entries, but has played exceptionally well through the NHL preseason. He looked the part of a pro. He's been a two-way presence in games and looks to set for a monster year in camp loops. And obviously, Mark, me and you have both been big fans of Fraser Minten coming in through this preseason. I think he looked really good out there, and that line of Knies and him and Minten and Cowan has just looked phenomenal for the Leafs in this preseason.
Yeah, we seen last year with Minten and Kamloops. He played incredible. He came over here, he played in the Traverse City Prospects tournament. You just see him in the preseason. He's just looking so good. He's bringing this leadership. He looks poised. He looks like he's almost ready for the NHL level. I think next year there's no doubt he's in the AHL. You might see a couple stints with him with the Leafs next year for sure. But just this preview of a line like Knies, Minten, and Cowan, it's just so exciting. If you can have this as your third line, it would be a cheap line. These guys would be on their ELCs. You have this line running next year. They bring chaos. They bring passing, scoring. They bring a bit of everything. And honestly, a look into the future of this young core that we're going to start bringing up. Three of these guys are must watch. Knies will make the team this year. I think he's going to be outstanding for the Leafs. But Cowan and Minten have shown they can be here. They've shown their potential. And it's just such a bright future for these two players with this organization.
Yeah, definitely. I was a big fan of Minten through this preseason. I think he's played really well for Toronto. And obviously, if they didn't have as deep of a roster as they had, he probably would have cracked the lineup with his performance this preseason. But I do really like this guy. I think he's improved on his two-way game, like Cushman says here. He's been forechecking really well so far in this preseason, a couple times, leading to a goal. I believe he has 3 assists right now in this preseason. He's playing really well. I think it's just a matter of time before he pots one before the end of the preseason.
Oh, that's for sure. And I definitely love watching him play Montreal, kicking their asses for better terms. But we just seen this line. They looked dominant. They looked great. They just showed so much potential together. You have a guy like Knies who is set on the Leafs roster. He's going to be here for this entire season, like I said. But Minten and Cowan are guys, if you got into a pinch of a couple guys go down and you were forced to play these guys, I wouldn't be worried. A lot of prospects you see get rushed. You see a lot of guys just kind of get pushed in, not really ready for everything. But these two guys with Cowan and Minten, I could definitely see you put them in the organization and they'll play good.
Yeah, definitely have to agree with you there. But we're going to get into our next topic of the video here, which is why everybody clicked on the video. Matthew Knies is a game changer. And we have seen recently Matthew Knies has been the first star in the first battle against Montreal before their back-to-back matchup. He had 1 goal. Obviously looked really good out there. He also, in the game last night, was the 3rd star. Had another goal last night. And in the first meeting with Montreal, he had a shorthanded goal. And we're going to give you a look at both of these goals from Matthew Knies here. This is the shorthanded goal in the first game. He just kind of pulls it and rips it on the goalie there. And then last night he had a nice tuck from behind the net there. But Mark, I know me and you have been very high on Matthew Knies ever since last year in the playoffs. I think like right now in this preseason, he's looked like the best Toronto Maple Leaf on the ice.
Yeah, no, he's looking incredible. Like I said, we've seen his development last year. He looked good in the playoffs before he went down with an injury. And just overall, his game looks so polished. He's going into the corners, he's scoring, he's getting passes off. He looks dominant. And if you put him on the wing with a guy like Tavares, we've seen this kind of line forming of Tavares with Knies and Lafferty. I think this just looks incredible for the organization, just having this guy ready to step up, showing he can play. And then, like I said, the future of just having a guy like him, Minten and Cowans. These guys are going to be stars in this league. They might not be your guys that go out and put 100 points up for you, but just overall, their development is looking so smooth. They're making this impact at such an early age, and I'm so excited just to have a full season in Knies. I think he's going to be incredible. I could see a 60, 70 point, depending on which line, and I think he'll be dominant just in the corners and being this modern PF the Leafs need.
Yeah, and just like you said, this guy's a game changer for the Leafs. I just think, you know, having this guy on such like an entry, like still on his entry level deal, playing so well for Toronto. I think if he can get this over into the regular season, like you said, I think on the right line, he could definitely go for 50 or 60 this year. And when you have a guy on his entry level deal getting you 50 or 60 points, I mean, that's just going to be a great success for Toronto. And even on this roster they have, like Marner's definitely a 100-point season this year. Matthews probably going for 60 again this year. Nylander probably shooting for 50, and then when you got Matthew Knies coming in who can get you 60 points, I just think the Leafs are a powerhouse this year with this guy in the lineup.
Oh no, for sure. He's a guy you can play in all situations. We even seen during this preseason in just him playing the penalty kill. He scored on it. He had a good pass to Lafferty when they did play as well. And just overall, I think this is a guy you can kind of develop to play in all situations where he could be a force on 5-on-5. Of course, the power play, he'll look outstanding, just moving the puck, getting in front of the net. And if you can develop this guy into a penalty killer and you kind of get this trifecta of all 3 situations, it's just such a boost to the Leafs team, having this guy that can develop him even more and just let him grow with his team, the organization. And it's just such a bright future for him.
Yeah, and you know, one thing the Leafs have always had is kind of that big man project, you know? The 6'6" guy who's going out there, they're trying, and they finally found one that worked. I think Matthew Knies is the big man project of the future for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think this guy's great offensively, but great defensively as well. Got a great two-way game. Can get into the corners, along the boards, get the puck out in front. We've seen that a couple times this preseason where he's created opportunities just by using his body in the corners and forcing that puck out to the middle to one of the guys out front.
Yeah, and like we seen last year, he was such a big net front presence in the final couple games and into the playoffs that this is a guy you have such good goal scoring on this team. This guy, you park him from the net, just take all vision. Goalies are incredible, but if you can't see something, obviously this just makes the goalie so much worse. So a big body like this in front, he can tip shots, he can score, he can get into the corners, and just overall, he's such a gifted player in all aspects that's just going to be dominant for this team. He's not going to be a guy that's going to go out and score 60 goals for you, but not every team is going to need a couple of them. You need these guys that have their specific roles, and I think this role here is something the Leafs have kind of been missing and something that can be so valuable to this team, to guys like Matthews, Tavares, Marner, and everything like this.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that we've seen here is that he kind of has chemistry with everybody on this team. You can kind of throw him on any line and he'll play the same game that he'll play with some other guys. I just think he's such a versatile player, and the Leafs got a gem in this guy. I think he's going to have a great year this year. I can't wait to see till the regular season starts to see how he plays against the full lineups in the NHL, but I'm sure he's going to excel tremendously. But we'd like to hear your guys' take comments on this down below in the comment section. What do you think about Matthew Knies? Are you guys as hyped on him as me and Mark are? Let us know about what your thoughts on Timmins and going down is, and Fraser Minten's future in Toronto. Let us know down below. We like going through reading all your comments. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Patrick G. Shout out our guy, Patrick G. Mafia. Been a day one supporter for me and Mark. We just got to thank you for your support, Patrick G. He says about the Zegers video yesterday, I like the trade. I think Zegers for Nylander is fair. 1-for-1, if anything, Leafs should get a late pick too. Knies and Robertson are staying. Great show, KC. See you soon, Mark. And soon is right now. Mark is back. I know a lot of people were wondering where he's gone, but he's back. He's here. Where both of us are excited to get these videos out. The season's soon approaching, and everything's going to start to pick up here. You might start seeing some 2-video days coming out of us here. We're so excited to get all this content out to you guys. And one thing I just want to throw to you, Mark. I know you weren't in that Zegers video yesterday, but what do you think about the Zegers trade to Toronto?
Listen, I was a big fan of this kid when I seen him hit the Michigan and Montreal. I'm going to keep bashing Montreal a little bit. It's a little fun. But I think he could develop in this team. My only issue is if you're moving Nylander, you're getting a little less talent. Obviously, you can lock Zegers up for this cheaper deal. Let him build with this organization. But I do like Willie a lot. I think it's the thing where we hit deadline. If Zegers is still unhappy in Anaheim and you see Nylander not wanting this extension, I could see something happen. Like I said, Zegers is amazing. I love the guy's game. He puts butts in the seats, and I think he'd just be outstanding in the Toronto market.
Yeah, definitely agree with you there. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers. So if you go down and hit that subscribe button, we really appreciate it. And like we said, make sure to comment down below your thoughts on all the stuff we talked about in this video. You might be featured on the next comment of the day. But I've been KC alongside my co-host Mark Pye. Keep your stick on the ice.